We're still watching the program this morning on Light TV. It's now time for our discussion from the other end of this morning on Light TV, where we'll be looking at Ramadan, the significance of Ramadan. Joining us this morning to share more light is the Grand Chief Imam of the Back of the Street here in the FCT is Muhammad Habib Umar. I hope I get it right. A very good morning to you, sir. Let's begin with the I know Ramadan is part of the 5 pillars of Islam. Yeah. For the sake of our viewers, can you just take us through these 5 pillars and then how we get to Ramadan?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قبل أن أجادل ما في وطبي أريكم بتوبة إسلامية قائلا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وحبيبه من بعثه إلا رحمة للعالمين هاديا بشرا ونصيرا بلغ رسالته وأدى أمانته ونصح لأمته فجزاه الله أن خير الجزاء من جزاء نبيا من أنبيائه والصلاة والسلام عليه وعلى رسوله وعلى كل رسول عليه السلام أجمعين. Ada question Allah. 5 pillars of Islam. At-tashahhud, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, to witness that there is no any other Lord to serve except Almighty Allah. Secondly, Qiyam Salat, to perform our 5 daily prayer. Zakat, we do the zakat. Hajj al-Bayt, liman istata'a, and go to Hajj for those that have the capacity, the power. And the Siyam Ramadan, and the future will be Siyam Ramadan, fasting of Ramadan, which will have a clarification for him from the book Al-Quran. That is Azza al-Basmala Abdullah min ash-shaytan ar-rajim Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu kutiba alaykum siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. So whatever comes from Quran is Sharia. And whatever is Sharia, that is compulsory for the believer of Almighty Allah. So for this ayah today in the Quran is the one that commands that is compulsory for the good believer to perform the fasting of Ramadan accordingly to the guide of the Ramadan law.
Okay, let's begin at look at the setting of the dates. I know there's always this confusion when Ramadan is supposed to start. Sometimes a day before or a day after. And that has always been the challenge where we have to wait for confirmation either from the Sultan or from Saudi Arabia. Why do we normally have this disparity in dates? Sometimes,
yeah, it will be. Because whatever that is demanded by Almighty Allah, it will be by the wish of Almighty Allah. No mankind can guess of what Almighty Allah will do. So, and the reason that it be confused, if you follow the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there should not be much confusion on getting the month or the starting point of Ramadan. Because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Wa'in gaman to fashaban salasina." So the way you get the month is if the cloud is not clear, for us to see the new moon of the month of Ramadan, because if we are in the fasting of Shaban, and then we didn't see the moon because of the weather, that means we complete the Shaban to 30 days. After the 30 days of Shaban, and then we start fasting of Ramadan. But if before the Shaban complete 30, maybe it's 29, and then the moon come out early, that means we stop Shaban and we move on with Ramadan. So it is clarified. But based on the weather and the distance of Earth to Earth, that is why many people do confuse. That is why they use instrument to confirm it, because every eye cannot see it, cannot see the moon when it come out early. So like this one now, Israel, China or India, they saw it and passed the information to Saudi Arabia, and then Saudi Arabia passed the information to all the sultan, that's the Amir. Amir is who you believe and can never lie for the sake of Allah. So that is why once we need to wait for them, in case if it's not in Nigeria that we see the moon, no any high or instrument in Nigeria see it. In any other state, they see it, they will pass the information that okay, they have seen it in this so place. And then once they confirm it, that means it has been recited, and then they grant the judge on it and they have to stuff.
So what is expected of it for us, and Muslim faithful, in the times of Ramadan? What are the process? I mean, once Ramadan starts, you are supposed to abstain from food for a particular hour. But is that enough?
Yeah. You see, when I had a question yesterday that what are those things that do for a Muslim to do in the month of Ramadan? Allah, I said, to me, for who has the knowledge, whosoever has the knowledge, it's not only the month of Ramadan that we're supposed to be doing good, or to be caution ourselves as humankind. But focus me. Almighty Allah says, يا الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. What is the purpose of fasting? Purpose of fasting is to fear Almighty Allah. When you fear Him, all what He wish, all what He command, you will obey it. Can I go more details? Okay. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there was one of companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The companion came to Prophet Muhammad and said, "Oh, Messenger of Allah, preach for me." I should preach for you. He said, "You are Ma'az." Oh, I call you Ma'az. Alika, be itqa'i. He said to you that you say you be doing with Almighty Allah, fear of Almighty Allah remain in you. That means it's compulsory for you to fear Almighty Allah. Now talking about fear Almighty Allah is to go to heaven or to go to Saudi, that's to show the fearing of Allah. Fearing of Allah for a good believer that is taking the fasting, that we want to have the reward of fasting, it starts from whom? It starts from relative. I said, wasibikul hadith, a good believer, whatever that will come in thing and you are fasting, it will be truth. Wal wafa'il bil ahadi, when you promise, you fulfill it. Wa adda ila amanat, whatever they keep in your custody, you will be justified with it, you will be sincere with it. And then don't be a betrayer. So when you are a believer and you are doing this and you are fasting, you are only feeding the hungry. Because the fasting, you don't have the reward of it. 3 things is compulsory for a good believer that will make him to have the reward of fasting: endurance, patience, sincerity. When you are fasting, it's only Almighty Allah that can be the witness. No one. When you are fasting, you will feel weakness from your body. You will feel as if you should drink when you are lonely. You will feel that whatever you do is inner. Nobody will see it. But when you have patience, you will have patience till the time that you will eat in between 4:30 to 6:30 or 6:40 in the evening. Not for anybody, for Allah's sake.
Okay. Are there exemption of persons that are supposed to fast? When you said it's like a compulsory thing for every Muslim to fast. No, are there exemptions?
Yeah.
For instance, with the children, pregnant women, or sitting.
There is exception.
Okay.
Firstly is that when someone is old age, his body cannot take the hungry anymore. Take the pain that you will feel when you are fasting anymore. Like old age, that means you will feed someone in the place of your fasting and you will have the same reward. When you are traveling to a long distance and then you know on your journey you can't be able to load it, you have opportunity to eat. But when the time of the Ramadan gone, you pay it back. When you are pregnant woman, you have opportunity to eat because of the stature of your system. Especially when you know that when you take the fasting, it will affect you, it will affect the baby in the heat. And then when you are eating, someone that you know that you don't have capacity, you don't have money, you have capacity to fast, but you don't have something to use, to eat, then you provide a good food for the person. So when you are breastfeed, you have opportunity to eat, because the milk that the son consumes from your breast, it may affect you if you say you are in fasting. So because of that, you have an opportunity to eat, and then when time of Ramadan, then you pay back.
So in other sense, you can fast outside the month of Ramadan.
Yes, to pay back for the month of Ramadan. If you have menstruation, you leave it when you are doing your menstruation. After the menstruation gone, you continue with the month of Ramadan fasting, and then after the Ramadan fasting, you pay back. If it's 6th, 8th, or 7th, you pay back.
Now, if you look at the benefits of Ramadan to a Muslim, and let's look at the alms giving during Ramadan. You know that, like you mentioned earlier, if you're not fasting, you should be able to feed those who are fasting. I have seen most persons during this period attempt to want to feed so many persons,
yes.
And there are people that don't have.
Yes.
Now, for people that don't have, what do they do? How do they go about this fast?
For the people that don't have, even it's compulsory for so far you are ready, because there are sometimes there are some people that reach only one date to take the fasting, and then there are some people only one date they need to break the fasting or water, except when you see that if you don't eat enough as you supposed, and then if you take the fasting, it will affect you. You can leave it. Almighty Allah will be your witness that you don't have. That is why you don't do. Okay, can I come with a little short story?
Right.
During the time of Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah, there's a man. He came to Prophet Muhammad. He said, Ya Rasulullah, qad halaktu. He said, oh, he has perished. Prophet Muhammad said, Wama halakaka. What perished you? He said, I have something intercourse. I don't want to say I have intercourse with my wife during the day of fasting. And I said, okay. Can you pay back the fasting? Because you purposely did it. Can you fast for 2 months aside of the day that you have something with your wife? He said no. Prophet Muhammad said, okay. Can you feed 60 people? He said no. Okay. What can you offer to pay the kafara of the sin you committed? He said, I don't have anything. Prophet Muhammad now laugh and sit down. Prophet Muhammad going into his house and come out with a basket of dates. And he bring it. He said, okay, take this to people, to beggars, to less privileged, so that they can take it, so to pay back your sin of what you commit. When he saw it, he said, Prophet Muhammad, is there anyone that more poorer than him in this town? At his home, there's nothing for them to eat. From there, Prophet Muhammad said, if that is the case, take it to your home and eat it, and give your family. So if you don't have opportunity, you don't have something to eat, you don't have anything, you can leave the fasting. But if you leave the fasting, what are you going to eat? And the second question about those people that give alms during the fasting of Ramadan, is Almighty Allah says so that after you fast, you still have opportunity to feed people so that they can benefit the fasting you should do. If you do that, there is a big reward on it. But to me, as I do reason, you that have opportunity to do that in Ramadan, what happened to the other days? You have the opportunity to do good inside Ramadan. What happened to the other day that is not the month of Ramadan? If you are sincere, if you are not hypocrisy. You that can feed many people during Ramadan, what happened to the other days? Is only the Ramadan time people are feel hungry?
We saw that played out in the northern governors trying to keep money for Ramadan.
So, you see? Why, okay, now, are they keep it? Are they keep it for the Christian side as well? Or any other religion? It's supposed. Because Almighty Allah is sincere and justified equally. We are equal before Almighty Allah. So when they keep it, it's good. But it's not only the month of Ramadan that is supposed.
Okay, let me take you back to a story. You just narrated one of the story from the Quran about the Prophet Muhammad.
Sure.
That was a recent incident that happened just on the first day of the fast, where a man killed his wife because of she was not able to prepare the meal on time for him to break his fast. And these are some of the things we see in probably families who do not have enough to eat. And you talk about patience. So how do you begin to manage anger and situations like this during the fasting period?
You see, with what is with me that I wrote here, I only caution my time because of few people. If not so, what we would need from a good believer is about 11 to 12 characters. If you appear in you, you are a good believer. Because someone that cannot endure for fasting, you cannot endure for any other thing. Because fasting is within you, that no one bear the witness. If you cannot have the patience on it, you can't have patience on anything. For the person that killed his wife because of that, it is not normal, it's abnormal. It's forbidden in Islam. He will be punished. Even though if government didn't kill him, on the day of resurrection, he will be punished. Because you can't say because of Allah you did that. You can't say because of the reward you did that. Man qatala nafsa muta'amida fakannama qatala al-aman. Whosoever kill a single soul purposely, you get, is assumed he killed the whole world. In Islam, Almighty Allah use this Ramadan to train, to wake everybody up. Many people are weak because of different kind of behaviors in life. That is why in a month, within a year, Almighty Allah wake every spirit up to not lose your soul to devilish. Over anger is not good for a believer. Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was saying, he said, a good believer, وَإِفْسُ الْجَارِ وَرْحَمَةٌ لِلْيَتِيمِ وَاللَّيِّنَ الْقَلْبِ. A good believer is good for him. Whatever that will come from your mouth, it will be a good word that will make other people to happy. You get it? And then that will, if someone is angry, he come to you, he will be patient. The person that did that is totally wrong. And then he didn't take the sample of Prophet Muhammad.
Okay, as we come to an end of this very discussion, now what should we be looking at towards the end of this Ramadan? I know there's always a feast when most persons refer to us as the small Salah. So within this period till the last day, what should we be expecting from a Muslim?
A Muslim, may Almighty Allah be with us and accept our ibadah. So far, we have started Ramadan. Everybody need to obey his soul, obeys Almighty Allah. And then when it's getting to the end, the 10th days of ending of Ramadan, many people, we do go to mosque, stay there, seek prayer, pray for more mercy. And then many people stay at their home, play tahajjud, nafila, to look for Laylatul Qadr. Because the Laylatul Qadr is a special day in the year, in the month, among days. And anybody that come across the day, whatever he seek from mercy for Almighty Allah, what they granted is permanent for him. So for the 10 days of ending of the Ramadan, everybody should seek mercy, seek forgiveness. Whatever you have to spend for the cause of Allah, you do it, you have the reward multiply.
So any message for our leaders in reflection of this very season here?
Yes. Alhamdulillah, because I think of it. Now I really appreciate Almighty Allah to give me this chance. Because our present president is Muslim, right? And he's Yoruba by tribe. So far that he's really Muslim, and he has a lot of scholars around him that will be able to tell you the truth. There is a day Angel Jibril came to Prophet Muhammad, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Faqad, Ya Rasulullah, if al man shita, he said, oh Messenger of Allah, do your wish. whatever you wish, do it. If aliman shitun, and I am saying it as well, that if aliman shitun, everybody that is in power in the government, do your wish. But upon Prophet Muhammad is a lover of Almighty Allah and is a sincere kind. Almighty Allah saying to tell him that if aliman shita fa innaka mayyitun fa innahu mayyitun. He said, do whatever you wish. You can do whatever you have in your capacity. Remember, one day you will die. I cannot justify president or anybody in power. Or just remember, whatever the power you are in today, you will do account of it in the day of resurrection. Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on al-jazaa min al-izab wa khafd al-janah. Prophet Muhammad said it is good for a good leader to be think and be scared that one day I will be questioned of all my deed, and then I will do account. Our president, our governor, our senator, you can do your wish. Remember, one day you will do account. If you do good, it's there for you. If you do other, it's there for you. May Almighty Allah forgive every one of us.
All right, thank you so much for your insight, Imam Muhammad Abibullah. Thank you so much. You really learned a lot from this very short interview on Ramadan. Unless we call you again, you are better.
Inshallah.
All right, we'll move over now to our Benin studio for the continuation of the program this morning on Light TV.